Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today we're going to clear the rock road. First, I got to walk the road and get rid of any sticks that are going to mess up the lawnmower. That's not really going to do anything, but down there's a lot of stuff that's in the way, both rocks and sticks. So we'll do that on the walk with the dogs, and then we'll come back and get the chainsaw and start working on the trees. I have a list of stuff that I got to get done, and I'll show you that when we get back up and get the chainsaw. Well, looks like we have a cat coming with us. This is Tater. Stuff like that can really mess up the lawnmower if it gets wedged in there. Rained last night, so everything's a bit wet. Not going to be able to cut down here until this dries out, but this really doesn't need cutting here. The majority of the work that needs to be done is from that bent tree onward all the way around to the other side. We got to come and get rid of this and all of this stuff on the ground here. This all gets cut with a brush whacker, and then once we get down to the level ground on the rock road there, that's when we can cut with the mower. This is not the best day to be doing this because this road is pretty darn wet, and I don't like driving on it when it's this wet, but it's gonna rain 8 out of the next 10 days. So if I don't do it now, it's gonna be like 2 weeks before I can get in here. Look at those mushrooms. I'm gonna have to put the camera down to get that done, but I really can't wait 2 weeks because you can see how tall this stuff is getting here. Stuff like this, I believe that's a cherry tree. I gotta cut near the ground and put Torden on it. And this, I don't know. I think that's way too rotten, but it's positioned really nice. If I just cut this into, I don't know, maybe 3 chunks, hopefully I can just roll it over the edge. So I got to get down here with the gator and the chainsaw and get rid of that, well, and the Torden, and get rid of that little tree. And then come down here with the mower, get this whole thing mowed, and then come down with the brush whacker and get the brambles along the edge, like this stuff. This will actually hang all the way out into the middle of the road at some point if I don't do something about it. I've been clearing this road on walks, so I'm just getting the stuff that fell since the last walk. That right there is a blackberry. Those will get, about 1 inch around at some point. That's a blackberry as well. Part of this stuff is blackberry, part is raspberry. but it all sucks when it hangs over the road. All right, let me see how heavy this is. Let me get this out of the way. Big old thistle. Yeah, stuff like that has to go as well, because when you're driving the Gator through here, if that brushes into the cab, that's a definite ouchie. All right, we'll get the chainsaw for that. And for that, I don't know. I think I may come down here with the mower first and then come back with the chainsaw. It'll make it a lot easier to move around. Yeah, this grass and weeds are very long. Some of this stuff is pushing 4 feet tall. I think what I'm going to do is just come down here with the mower, get this mowed, and that way it won't get all mashed down by the Gator. And then I'll come back down with the Gator and all my tools and stuff and get rid of the logs and stuff like that. Then I'll make one more pass with the mower, and it should be really nice after that. So here's one of the problems. I can't cut right from where the dogs are to about here because of the size of these rocks, but I do have a brush cutter. I just don't have it started and tuned up and have line on it yet. I'm going to do that before the next cut, but for this cut, I'll just skip this part like I normally do. I'll cut until I get to a certain point up there when I start seeing all these rocks. And then right about here, the rocks pretty much stop, and then I can cut the rest of it. Yeah, that is a good... Yeah, I really need to get that trimmer online. Yeah, see, this is why you can't cut right here. And you can't remove the rocks, or this area is just going to wash out. So it is what it is. Yeah, that brush whacker is going to come in real handy, but I need to get it started and start using it. Okay, yeah, I was really dreading doing this because it's so wet, but it wasn't too gosh awful bad. When I come on this outside cut here, I have to be real cautious because just a couple inches away it drops off and I can't really see that well. And if a tire goes off the edge, that's it. I have to go get the gator and pull this out of there with the winch. I've never had to do it on this road before, but I've had to do it a few times on others. Okay, so you may have heard I hit a few sticks here and there, and we always hit the tops of a rock or two. So I'm going to walk back up, load up the gator with all of my tools and stuff, and then head back down with the chainsaw and start that work. And hopefully this dries out a bit during that time, and it'll be easier to get the mower back up that hill. That's one of the problems with zero turns, is that they do not do good on wet ground going up hills. So with all of these sticks and stuff out of here, yeah, I keep hitting this crap. I can get rid of a little bit of that, but this is basically what the road's made out of. And if I were to get rid of all this stuff, I would just have a hole. We wanted to come down here and put gravel on this. I can't remember how many loads of rock this is, the breaker rock. I thought it was like 19, but maybe it was 9. I'll have to ask the wife on that. But when they did this road, the guy who did it owns a quarry, and he had real big machinery. He busted the side of that cliff to make the dry lot up there, and while he was doing that, we had him do this, and they backed their dump truck down here all the way to the end and dumped the gravel as they went to make the road. And then he went about halfway up the hill as far as I mowed that same spot, and then, well, this was his son doing the dumping. Then he came with his D10 bulldozer, yeah, massive bulldozer here. He came with his D10 and would back down the hill, and he would hook the dump truck up to it with a chain and pull it the rest of the way up the hill. I don't think we would be able to have somebody do that again if we were to put actual gravel on this. Like I said, this is breaker rock. This is big rock. But it's got enough leaves and stuff decayed into it that it's basically just dirt in the center part, but in areas it's pretty bad. This one is what I hit on camera. Sounds a lot worse than it is. And it's right next to one of the last two of the chestnuts. This one's actually doing fairly well. When I do my trimming, I'll trim around the base of this, give it a little breathing room. Yeah, you can't even see these sticks and stuff when the grass is so high. Definitely need to get that big DR trimmer running and start using that. Okay, picked up the gator, and we're down here at the intersection behind the house, and I'm ready to trim. I gotta replace this windshield. I'm gonna do that real soon. I'll make a video out of it, because this is shaped, it's bent and stuff. What we're gonna do is just cut a square out of it and then pop rivet a new piece on there. That way we can use the existing hardware and stuff. Okay, I got this big pig started and she's ready to go. I'm gonna start right here, work my way down, go all the way around. It's like 115 feet, I believe, down to get to the rock road, but it's much further than that walking. And then I'm gonna work my way along the rock road, get the stuff that I couldn't get with the mower, and then work my way back. All told, what would that be? About 3/4 of a mile, I believe. So we'll see how much gas we got. If I run out of gas, I'm just gonna come back and have lunch, fill it up, and start again. That was quick. Got to the end of the string right away. So I think what I'm gonna do is just head back and put the saw blade on there, and we'll get back here and continue. Yeah, that does a good job just with the string. You can see it's cutting through stuff that's over a 1/2 inch thick. But the saw blade, when you get to trees and stuff, it just wraps around, or the string just wraps around it, and it'll yank a bunch of string out. So kind of a waste. We'll get the saw blade on here and just saw through that stuff. One thing you got to watch out for though is when you have wood like that right behind all this stuff, if you're moving too quick and hit that wood, it's going to jerk the brush cutter all over the place. So you gotta kind of go slow until you know what you're into. Yeah, this is going to be one heck of a job. This part doesn't need to be done every year, but every 3 years, something like that, if I trim it back really well, it lasts for a few years. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. Got a problem here. To put the saw blade on, you need this heavy washer that gears in or tooths in, and the one for this is missing. I bought this from my neighbor. I've used it before and it had one of these, but now it's missing now that I bought it. So I'm gonna have to ask him if he knows where that is. Otherwise, I'll have to get one from the dealer. These are for the smaller units. I used to have a 223R, and I did almost all my saw work with the 223R, but I've never had a saw blade on this 129R. The 223 was discontinued. I'm going to try to get this started. This hasn't been started in a couple years. I may have to pull the plug and clean the plug and stuff. We'll see if we can get it started. If we can, I'll put the blade on the little one. These have such a tiny little tank that I doubt that I can even get to the bottom before it runs out of gas. So yeah, all of a sudden things suck a little bit. Okay, here's where we're at with this. I could not get this started, so I was going to pull the plug and clean the plug and do all that stuff, and the cap just busted right off. I mean, all I did was lift it up and it came off in my hand. So this is not starting today. That really pisses me off too, because the original one I owned of these 129Rs was just junk, and I returned it, got this new one, used it once or twice, and now this happens. That really pisses me off. So we're going to set this one aside, and because I do not have the flange washer for this one, I'll refill the spool, and really all I need to do is get the grass cut, the part that I couldn't cut with the mower. I'll get that cut, and then we'll switch over to the chainsaw and we'll get all them trees cut. Well, chainsaw and various other tools. We'll get all the trees cut, and then the road will be 100% usable. I'll order that flange, and when that comes in, what I like to do is trim 2 or 3 feet in, get all the brambles cut, and then I wait, probably 2-3 weeks, and then the brambles start resprouting, and then I spray the brambles with Weed Stop or 2,4-D or whatever, and that kills the brambles but doesn't kill the grass. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get that done today. It's already getting late anyway, so let me clean up this mess, get that bump head filled up, and we'll get back to work. Okay. This is what I need to cut. It's not too bad. I actually ran the mower down this side when I came in, but I can't do that on the way back up. So I gotta cut mostly on this side, do a little trimming along the edges, and I'm actually just gonna keep going and get everything I can and try to just go around the brambles, and then I'll come back and get the brambles once I get that flange for this. All right, I better get moving here. Getting attacked by bugs. Well, the first part of the day went a whole lot better than this second part is going. I got the big Husqvarna started and just started to trim a little bit right here, and it died out and it won't start again. So I'm going to try that again later and see if it starts and see if it runs. And if it does, I'll do what I said I was going to do. Just cut the grass and thinner stuff along the edges. But for now, I have my DeWalt, and I already burned through a battery, 6 amp hour battery, doing this right here. But it was, I don't know, 3-4 feet on this side and then the center. So that is the most important thing, and the chainsaw work on the other side. The chainsaw should stay running, but I gotta go get it sharpened. I'm gonna head back right now and sharpen the chainsaw and get them trees out of the way. I want to have the road completely cleared so that I can drive around it, even though I can't drive around it today. I'm going to head back, park this, walk back down here, get the lawnmower, drive that back, and then sharpen the chainsaw and start working on them trees over there. Then I come and like this stuff right here and that right there, if I can't reach it from the ground, I get in the back of the gator and I chop that out of the way. That starts hanging right over the road and it bashes into the gator as you come through. This might actually take 2 days, but I really hope it doesn't. I do have a 9 amp hour battery, but that thing is so damn heavy, and these DeWalt trimmers are very unbalanced, and you can't use a harness. I have this balance harness, and it makes it real easy to use this big sucker, but this smaller one, well, with a heavy battery on it, really breaks your back. So I don't know how much I'll be able to do anyways. All right, let's get that mower out of here and get the chainsaw and switch gears. Okay, here's what I did. I grabbed the hand loppers and I went down and walked the entire loop, and I lopped off everything I could reach, which is up to like 10 feet high, and the road is really nice and clear. I'm going to wait until it dries out a bit. I don't want to lug the chainsaw up and down that muddy road down there. So when it dries out a bit, I'll take the chainsaw and get the last of it. But I'm going to walk the dogs and show you what we got done today. Yeah, it looks so beautiful through here. This is what I wanted to do, but it is so much easier with the saw blade because you can saw that stuff right down to the ground, and like I said earlier, go back as far as you need to. And again, you don't want to hit all this wood with the saw blade, but we'll get this stuff. We'll do one of them in, I think it's 10 days when that gets here. And, well, actually, they're both going to be in about 10 days because we have rain for the next 8 days. So, as you can see, there was a lot of stuff hanging over the road. I cut all through here. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see any of the stuff I threw over the, well, there's some right there, until it starts dying up a little bit. Come on, ladies. Deja. Deja. Okay. Still got the trees hanging over the road, but the stuff I want to chainsaw, like this, I'm going to get back into here and chainsaw that off right there. I could have cut these little branches right here and got rid of that, but I'd rather do it with the chainsaw and not have to worry about it for a year or two at least. Come on, ladies. Take a look down there. That's our ravine, if you've never seen it before. I've said this a few times, but I'm sure you can see the mossy rocks down there. It's been like that the entire time we've owned this land, except for when we had this massive rainfall. It polished every rock down there, just wiped the moss off completely. I love the way it looks with the moss on it. It was kind of disappointing when we had that rain. Yeah, I probably should have got that one right there, but the stuff right through here, that's actual full trees that I got to take out. I think I'll bring the loppers on the next dog walk as well, because I'm seeing a few things like this right here. Probably should have took that branch off. I know a little further down, I started taking everything out. Yeah, this entire tree is going to come out of here. Deja, let's go. Crazy dogs. Okay, I'll get back with you around the corner here. I don't know why I turned off the camera. This is as far as I mowed. We have 4 trees down right here. One is real little, I can toss it, but those are 3 full-size trees across the road down there. And again, I don't want to mess with that stuff until the road is drier and I can come down here and park with the gator and have all my stuff ready to use. Deja. Deja vu. Well, she's gonna get a workout. Come on. It's a lot harder running up the hill, isn't it? All right, let's go, ladies. Yeah, real nice and clear. You can see branches I cut. Yeah, I did a lot better job on the main road here. So I tried budging some of these logs here and they were just too heavy. We'll cut these with the chainsaw when we get everything else. Yeah, look at how nice and clear that is. We'll be able to drive the gator through here without touching a single branch. Except for possibly this. And I was going to cut that, but this is a white oak. And I wanted to see if the gator actually touches it. And if it doesn't, I'm going to leave it alone. I killed back all of these junk trees back here. All of those are all dead, including this one. And this one is going to take over for them. So that is a keeper, and these are all junk. I didn't mess with this big cherry either. We'll let that one go. Probably make some furniture out of it someday. Yeah, you can see really nice and clear through here. Well, I was going to sign off right here. This is the old vineyard, but I think I'm going to walk down this trail that I cut through the north pasture here and give you a little tour of that. I cut this a few weeks ago so that I would have a way to get in here once the grass got really tall, and I'm glad I did that. We have a bunch of trees along the fence line here that need to come out. There's another one there, another one here, another one there, and several more up around the corner. We have a farmer that's going to be haying this in, probably about a week. He's going to cut it and bale it up. And we'd kind of like to go right up to the fence. But we got all these darn trees down. This is why I wanted to walk around this. Get some of this stuff off where I got to cut. This tree right here has been down for, I'm going to guess 4 years, or probably 5 years. It's never been a priority, but we'll try to get it out of here this year. That's going to be some nice dry wood, so we'll get that cut for firewood for this coming winter. Yeah, this trail is kind of goofy because it goes around these trees. What you smelling, girls? Get out of there. Some kind of poop there. Dogs are so gross. Little bit of wind damage. Deja. Deja, let's go. The round pen used to be right there. Now it's just a round patch of sand. We used to have a gate right here going into the pasture back here. Yeah, this is kind of a mess here. I got this on my list as well to get all these rocks out of here. That's a nasty one. That's a nasty one there as well. And here is the old north dry lot. There's where the round pen was. No horses anymore. And this is where we started out. So, the maintenance did not get done today, but it's never done. I'll be doing that chainsawing and the brush whacking probably in 2 weeks, whenever it dries out a bit, probably early July sometime. So, if you want to see those videos, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.